Welcome to episode 496 of Salcedo Paranormal, and tonight I am talking about haunted places in the U.S. As always, you can find all episodes of the show along with links to social media and other ways to contact me at the podcast page, and that is salcedoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. Always happy to hear from you all, whether you all have questions or comments or topic suggestions or stories of paranormal experiences, whether they're your own or from others that you trust. Happy to either read those or have you join me on the show to talk about them. Thank you all for listening, whether you listen to the streams on Discord or if you listen on the podcast or YouTube feeds, or if you hear the shows on the Troubled Minds Radio Network, KUAP Digital Broadcasting. There you can hear replays of 2 episodes of the show every night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, right before Troubled Minds Radio comes on. As always, I want to thank Michael Strange, host of Troubled Minds Radio, as well as Liam Martin, or Rohan, as he's also known, host of the Exiled Minds podcast, for producing the shows and adding the music and putting them up on the station as you hear them there. If you'd like to support the show, there are some different ways to do that. You can always share the show with others and rate and review it on your podcast platform of choice. I also have paranormal fiction and nonfiction books you can check out over on Amazon. And a Patreon page you can also visit. I have one extra episode there. Planning on doing more at least once a month starting in November. And those episodes can be accessed through any of the membership tiers there on that platform. Also, I have, if you just like to make one-time donations to the show, I have links to PayPal and Venmo, and those can all be found in every episode description. Help is never expected, but always appreciated, as there are always expenses in making these shows, from equipment to research materials to travel expenses. Getting closer and closer to going to the Mid-Michigan Paracon this November 4th and 5th. That's a Saturday and Sunday, and that's at the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Looking forward to that. I'll be walking around there, listening to the presentations, and making audio recordings of myself and anyone else that wants to join me there, talking all about the paranormal and thoughts about what it all is and stories of experiences if anyone has any they want to share. And then I'll bring those recordings back and share those on future shows. So I think that covers all of that. And so yeah, this is my continuing series on haunted places in the U.S. And as I always say, a couple things about this. I am no historian, so this is just based on what I was able to find online. I think the stories of the experiences are still amazing either way, just because where do these stories come from? And so often it seems like there's, even if it's just one little detail that it was there that may be accurate, where is that coming from as well? So I think it's still fun to look at these reports of activity in these places and see what we can make of them. Also, as always, please look into these places I talk about yourself to see if they're open to the public whenever you hear these shows, after you hear these shows, because I do not suggest or recommend any kind of trespassing for various reasons, safety and privacy and legal and all those different things. So be sure to check out the places yourselves online before you go and visit them, just in case you're not supposed to be there. So I think that covers everything there. I'll get to these articles here. I only have 3 in there, shorter than I thought, so we may get through these faster than expected today, but we'll fill out the time. And so yeah, this has been a great series to do so far, and I've enjoyed it. Just even just going through several locations in one state so far, Alabama. This is just all locations so far we've done in one state. and there's 50 in the U.S. So this is going to be an ongoing series for quite a while, and I'm hoping everyone's okay with that. I enjoy it. And we've already talked about several locations. And so this next one here we're going to talk about is, let's see here, the Pickens County Courthouse. And this first article is from, oh wait, I'm on the wrong one. Let me just get to the right article here. This first one is from scaryhq.com. And the title of this one reads, Haunted Pickens County Courthouse in Carrollton, Alabama. So, the original courthouse burned down, apparently, back in the day in the late 1800s. But, and they had, one person was suspected, apparently, last name of Wells. He lived out on the edge, or in the county. And according to the story, I found this in all three articles here, he was arrested and locked in the attic of the new courthouse. So the place was reconstructed. And but as there was a thunderstorm rolling into the area, just as a mob gathered outside the building, demanding that Wells be turned over to them. And this is back in the day where those were much more common, I guess, in different areas. So, and as Wells was looking through the window outside at the crowd, a lightning bolt struck the window and killed him. But his face is still seen on that window, even though it's, I'm guessing by now it's been replaced. And so that's really amazing that, and again, it goes back to the lightning. How was that? Was that an actual image burned onto the window? Or is it more paranormal, or is it both? Can it be both somehow? And that's what I wonder about this story here. And because so much we see in reports of paranormal activity, there are windows and mirrors seem to have different abilities in the paranormal to reflect images, and that maybe you can't see out in the when you're looking around, but then when you look in this pane of glass, whatever it is, excuse me, you see something, and that's so common in so many stories. Not in every situation, obviously, but yeah, it is definitely common. And so I wonder again. But then also you have the lightning, which there's so many reports of paranormal activity kicking up, and again, not in every case, obviously, but in many cases. There are reports of paranormal activity starting or picking up when there's thunderstorms in the area. And also, if you think about this crowd that was outside, you have this crowd of people that were there for this one reason. And so you have all their energy as well that could possibly be involved. So it just sounds like a really intense situation there, that maybe that's all combined to leave this image of this man's face on this window, and apparently is still there, or is still seen there anyway. So really amazing that I mean, sad that it happened, that anyone was struck by lightning and killed, but also just shows, I think, the power of lightning, and the way glass seems to be have something to do with the paranormal as well. So, moving on to the next article here. Let me see here. This next one is from onlyinyourstate.com. And a lot of these articles do have, at least this second and third one have pictures. And so the title of this one reads, The Story of Alabama's Ghost in the Window is Bizarre and Terrifying. So mentions that there's a lot of reports of paranormal activity in Alabama, of course, as we've already seen through all the other articles. we've read in this series, and but one of these most well-known stories in the state, which I had never heard of until this, is this face in the window, and it's become sort of a apparently there's like it's become sort of a tourist attraction, which is always odd. But apparently this has been included in books, and this article recommends the one book that apparently is known for promoting or for sharing the story. Excuse me. So, and this is a book called 13 Alabama Ghosts and Jeffrey. I don't know the reference there, but this is by someone named Catherine Tucker Wyndham. I'm not sure. But apparently this story was shared in that book. And so this article does have pictures. It has a picture of a plaque, basically. And Pickens County Courthouse, there's a plaque here in this one article. Erected 1877, 1878. So, yeah, there's some neat pictures here. So Henry Wells, it says, according to the story here, was a former slave freed at the conclusion of the Civil War, the U.S. Civil War, was accused of arson when the original courthouse burnt to the ground in 1876. So, of course, Henry fled to the attic of the courthouse while he was escaping the mob. So here it sounds like he went there himself. The other article, it says he was arrested. So there's some different details in these articles here. But as they kept looking for him in the area, he apparently he yelled to them that he was innocent. And of course, now I'm wondering if this is something that's more researched or not. I don't know. Apparently, according to the story, he yelled, "I am innocent. If you kill me, I am going to haunt you for the rest of your lives." So again, sort of getting back to this idea of sort of like curses in a way. But apparently, at that moment, after he got done saying that, the lightning bolt struck the building, and the image of Henry Wells' face was etched into the glass. So this is, so it does sound like it was something that had to do with the energy of the lightning bolt and the glass. Sounds almost like a natural, some kind of weird natural photograph that was taken using the lightning. In a way, that's odd. But so says in the story here, the mob finally made their way into the courthouse, and but anyway, looks like now there's differences again. The first article said that he passed away due to the lightning strike, but the other one here has a different ending, of him being killed by the mob, but by not the mafia, the mob of people that were outside to go after him. And so it looks like he's but he's still seen there, apparently. Now, this article mentions here, let's see here. No, it's the next one. So there's some differences there in the story, but you get that with some stories as well over time. I think due to research and or just variations from one person telling the story to another person telling the story. That doesn't surprise me in a way that happened with these articles here. Excuse me. So, but that's really neat that glass is still there, apparently, according to the articles here, as of when these articles came out. And so, yeah, really creepy story there in a way. But so yeah, just I wonder. I keep going back to the way if he wasn't killed by the lightning bolt, then I would almost maybe see I would wonder how the image got in the glass. Maybe that's, I don't know. A lot of details there I don't really know because I don't know how all that works, how science works, basically. But maybe it was some kind of a paranormal thing where it was a combination of the natural elements there, of the lightning and then the intense emotions that the man was going through, and then the glass being sort of there in the middle. So I don't know. I know lightning can go through solid objects, so I don't doubt that maybe it could have killed him. Yeah, frozen in time. Hello, Lily. Yeah. So even if it's just that image, but then again, I would wonder, does that mean it's just the image of his face, or is he also still, is part of him, or is he still there somehow, which is also terrifying to think of in a way. Did that lightning sort of, yeah, did that make him, did that put him there, make his energy or his spirit stay there for whatever reason? And that's terrifying right there. But because in this last article, we'll get to that here and go from there. This last article is actually from a news outlet. Let me see here. Let me close the other one. There we go. This is from CBS42.com. And this title reads, Alabama Ghost Stories. The Face in the Courthouse Window. So, and it says that it's one of the most talked about ghost stories in Western Alabama, and it's again known as the face in the window. So it talks about the story here, how Wells was arrested for burning down the original courthouse, and the courthouse was later reconstructed after he was arrested. And okay, so he attempted to escape, but he was brought back to jail in the basement of the building. So maybe he was there and he fled from the basement to the attic, and that's where the whole thing with the lightning in the window happened. So yeah, it talks about that. Seems to generally go hand in hand with the other two articles here. And according to, let me see here, there is a courthouse. There's a caretaker there, and last name of Patterson, said that there are some other strange things that happen there. So it sounds like other activity. But of course, the thing that the place is most well known for is the face in the attic and in the window there. So, and Patterson is apparently the courthouse caretaker and local historian. And he says the reason the the reason the mob wanted to pull Wells out of the jail was because of valuable papers and deeds that were lost in the fire of the original courthouse. So, and apparently the sheriff at the time, I was wondering about this. The sheriff at the time was trying to calm this mob, this crowd down, while Wells was in the attic watching everything. And so in this article, there it does use the word curse, that it said that he had said he would curse them if they got to him and did anything to him. So the sheriff removed. Okay, the sheriff removed Wells from jail and took him up to the attic. So that was something I wondered about. But apparently he did survive. He did survive the lightning strike. Now in this version, so. But he did eventually die due to other events there. And he promised to, again, he cursed the mob that wanted to kill him, according to the legend. And Wells pressed his face up to the glass to look down at the mob while he was still alive. And it was at the same time as the thunderstorm passed through and lightning struck the window, and that's how the face happened there. Image was put there. And Patterson says it's a tourist effect. We have a lot of people stop and come through to see the face in the window. And let me see here. So yeah, they look at some of the other objects so they have some other objects that were in the building from that time period as well. So I wonder if those hold energy as well. But the window has apparently gone through 142 years of tornadoes and rainstorms, but his face is still up there. So that is odd. He says that makes people think that this image is paranormal. This the way it stays there and everything, which I have heard of that in other cases. Not so much with faces and windows, but I'm sure a lot of us have heard the stories of course, any kind of in a place where there was a terrible murder or death, there would be spots of blood on the wall or floor in a place, and there'd be a stain, and those stains would keep coming back. I'm sure a lot of us have heard of that before. And so it sounds like a different version of that. I believe I've even heard of like handprints, just different things appearing and continuing to appear even when these areas are cleaned out or these surfaces are cleaned off, and they're manifesting over and over and over again. So I wonder if that means the face has it stayed there the entire, I mean, obviously you have to have a camera there the entire time to know this for sure. But does it stay there 24/7, or is it something that is more visible at certain times due to the weather? I'd wonder, all the energy, and again, it's being a window, collecting energy. So yeah, I don't know with that one, but that does seem to be the central story about that location. Although, as it said in the last article there, that there apparently is other paranormal activity in that courthouse. So, and I wonder about that with courthouses. I feel like I've heard of different places like that. Courthouses are places where there are trials, also having activity throughout time and throughout the U.S. And maybe not a one-for-one every location, but that is not the first courthouse I've heard of having activity. Maybe that's something I should check into for a show sometime. I mean, I know I've heard of haunted jails, obviously, but I've never really considered the whole idea of courtrooms and all the energy that goes on there with everyone, and how that can maybe lead to paranormal activity in those locations, especially places that have been around for over 100 years, like in the case of this courthouse. So, really amazing story there, and it does sound like the stories there, the articles don't say that this legend is all made up. So I wonder if maybe there really was a person that went by that name that was sort of I wonder how much of that is actual, based on the actual story, and how much has been, of course, exaggerated over time. It's always hard to tell, but it doesn't say that it's just a complete legend. So anyway, that's all the time we have for today. It worked out well, I think, just covering those 3 articles. And I'll be back tomorrow with true paranormal stories from the web on the next episode of Salcedo Paranormal. Take care, everyone.